So we finally got detailed information about two of the biggest question marks when it comes to upcoming characters, VARESA, also known as the Cowgirl, and Iansan. Both will probably come in version 5.5. Not only do we now have their full designs revealed, but we also have detailed insights into their kits, passives, and in VARESA's case, even her signature weapon. In this video, we'll go over everything you need to know about these two Electro characters, how they fit into the meta, and what makes them stand out from the rest of the roster. Let's start with VARESA, since she is undoubtedly one of the most unique 5-star Electro characters we have seen so far. Her design was something that had been teased before, but now we can fully appreciate her cow-themed aesthetic, which is unlike anything we've seen in Genshin before. The pink-colored hair, the golden details on her outfit, and her signature cow-like horns make her stand out immediately. While her design might give off a cute and carefree vibe, her actual combat style is anything but casual. VARESA is an Electro Catalyst user, but unlike traditional Catalyst wielders who mainly focus on ranged attacks, she is heavily centered around plunging attacks, making her gameplay incredibly dynamic and fast-paced. Her normal attack sequence consists of 3 Electro-infused strikes, which already makes her a bit different from other Catalyst users, as her attack pattern is much shorter and more aggressive. But what really makes her special is her charged attack, which consumes stamina to launch a powerful headbutt, dealing Electro damage and granting her a Knight's Owl's Blessing effect. After the charge, she propels herself into the air and can do a powerful plunging attack. And here's where the real focus of VARESA's kit is laying. Her plunging attack is not just a standard downward strike, but rather a massive AoE nuke that deals high Electro damage upon impact. One of her passive talents even increases her plunging attack damage by a massive percentage when she uses her elemental skill. This percentage even doubles when she is in the fiery passion state, which she can enter with her elemental burst. Her elemental skill makes this playstyle even more fluid. With a tap, she performs a quick dash forward, dealing Electro damage. However, if you hold the skill, she enters a state where her movement speed is greatly increased, allowing her to traverse terrain more easily, leap over small obstacles, and reposition herself for the perfect plunging attack setup. This fluid movement mechanic makes her feel completely different from other Catalyst users. Her elemental burst is where things get even crazier. When activated, VARESA leaps into the air and executes a massive flying kick, dealing AoE Electro damage and restoring her Knight Soul points. After this, she enters her fiery passion state, enhancing her attacks and making her plunging attacks even more destructive. After performing a plunging attack, she enters a limit drive state, where she can completely ignore the elemental burst cooldown and cast a special burst with reduced energy cost, which performs a massive plunging attack with huge AoE damage. Now, what makes VARESA even more interesting is that she is designed specifically to work with a new artifact set, which is by the way coming to the game in 5.5, that is focused entirely on plunging attacks. The 2-piece effect of the set increases plunging attack damage by 25%, while the 4-piece effect allows her to stack 15% additional plunging attack damage up to 5 times. Since her entire kit revolves around this playstyle, it makes this artifact set essentially a must-have for anyone who wants to maximize her damage output. To top it all off, VARESA's signature weapon, Rainbow's Wish, is also fully tailored for her playstyle. The weapon has an insane base ATK and crit damage substat, making it a top-tier choice for any Catalyst DPS character. But its real strength comes from its passive effect, which massively increases her ATK and crit DMG specifically for plunging attacks. This means that when paired with her new artifact set, she will be one of the hardest-hitting Electro DPS characters in the game when played properly. So, from what we know, VARESA is shaping up to be an extremely unique Electro DPS with fast mobility, high burst potential, and a specialized plunging attack playstyle that sets her apart from every other Electro Catalyst user. If you enjoy fast-paced gameplay, high-mobility combat, and big numbers on your screen, she might be a character worth considering. So, let's talk about Iansan. While there was a lot of speculation about her being a 5-star, she is officially confirmed to be a 4-star Electro polearm user. But don't let her rarity fool you. Her kit is packed with unique mechanics that make her one of the most interesting 4-star characters we've seen in a while. Iansan's playstyle revolves around Night Soul Points, which she generates through her abilities and consumes to enhance her attacks. Her elemental skill lets her dash forward, dealing electro damage and gaining Night Soul Points. But that's not all. Pressing the normal attack button right after the dash, she unleashes a thunderous dive without consuming stamina. Using her skill also enters her into the Night Owl's Blessing state, which continuously consumes Night Soul Points, but increases her movement speed and jump height. This makes her, like every Natlan character, a very mobile character, allowing her to traverse terrain much more fluidly. Her elemental burst takes things even further. She stomps the ground, dealing AoE electro damage and summoning a special kinetic marker. This marker follows the active character and increases their attack based on Iansan's Night Soul Points. If she has fewer than 42 points, the boost is based on both her attack and her current Night Soul Points. If she has more than 42, the attack boost is purely based on her own stats. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While the marker is active, it records the movement distance of the active character, and every second, it restores Night Soul Points based on how far they moved. This means that if you're constantly sprinting, dodging, or even climbing, Iansan keeps regenerating her resource, making her an incredibly dynamic unit. It's like a Bennett ULT without the restriction of staying in the circle. Her passives add even more synergy to her kit. One of her passives increases her attack by 20% after hitting an enemy with Thunderous Dive, and another allows her to restore even more Night Soul Points when her kinetic marker is active. She also has a healing passive. When nearby party members trigger a Night Soul Burst and Iansan restores at least 1 Night Soul Point, she heals the active character for 60% of her attack. Her constellations further refine her mechanics, boosting her energy regeneration, increasing the effects of her attack buffs, and even extending the duration of her kinetic marker. So constellations are a really big boost to your team damage. Iansan is shaping up to be an incredibly fun, fast-paced Electro support with a strong emphasis on mobility and team-wide buffs. Despite being a 4-star, her mechanics make her stand out as a unique addition to Genshin Impact's growing Electro roster. So, overall, VARESA and Iansan bring two very different but very exciting Electro playstyles to the table. VARESA is a high-mobility plunging attack DPS, built for big Electro burst damage and high-speed movement, while Iansan is a really good team buffer, ideal for setting up hyper-carry teams that scale with attack. With these two characters coming soon, who are you most excited for? Will you be pulling for VARESA, or are you more interested in Iansan's quick and aggressive playstyle? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on these upcoming characters.